Alright, let's go ahead and get started. This is a Deep Dwarf Assassin. Should be pretty straightforward. I mean, what is there to say? It's a Deep Dwarf, you know. Nothing too complicated. I've already started training stealth. I'm just going to take it to 5 because that 4.8 is bothering me. And with 3 aptitude, it's totally good. Or totally easy to get that. Then we'll train fighting. I want to get an axe as soon as I can. Hopefully we don't get memed on. Honestly, I'm just going to auto-explore. Kill the bat. Bats can literally not do damage to me because of Deep Dwarf damage shaving. Does it matter if it's at 4.8 and not 5? You know, I don't know. that I'm not sure about. So typically I wouldn't fight a giant cockroach at level 1 if I could avoid it on most characters, because technically they're not speed 10, they go faster than you, and while they only do 2 damage, you really don't, you know, you don't want to fight stuff that can outrun you if you don't have a way out of it, you know, a way to virtually guarantee winning. But this is a Deep Dwarf, so I just don't care. Like I said, this is kind of a free game, so we're going to have an easy time. Yeah, I see, exactly. Bonus streak, you know. Luckily, Elliptic threw this game in here as kind of a... Well, it's a little rest before the game gets really hard, because the one after this is a really, really, really hard combo, which is Formicid Scald. I'm using regular poison needles on these hobgoblins because they had some weapons, basically. I'll just melee these guys, it's fine. That guy had a cursed weapon, -2. Wasn't particularly likely to hurt me. Hello. Good news. D1 chainmail, that's awesome. Good luck with the next one. Thank you, NG Matt. Yeah, that's the thing. Formicid Scald is like... Scald is a really bad start, I'll put it that way, and Formicid is just... Depending on the start, usually it's going to be pretty weak. So, I'm not super excited to have to deal with either of those. Alright, so our D1 had a chainmail. That's a pretty good find. Nothing else useful. A mace, I guess, but I'd rather have the +2 dagger. You'll need luck to not make it horrible. Pretty much. I mean, we're essentially going to be playing like it's a fighter and ignoring our spellbook, I think. How are Formicid Necromancy apts? Let me see. Apt. Formicid. I don't think they're very good. 0 maybe? Yeah, 0. I mean, so they're okay. Formicids are okay at all spellcasting. I mean, they're overall their aptitudes are really not bad. It's just the fact that you can't teleport, and Scald is a bad start to begin with. I mean, the real problem is you're relying on melee, you know? Oh, what do you mean, Kiku? Yeah, if we found Kiku, we'd go Kiku for sure. Well, probably. Oh, let's check our stacks. Identify. Actually going to identify this amulet first. Alright, this is really awesome that we found this amulet, because that means we can train evocations, and that gives us more mana, which allows us to you know, heal more. And I can Zerk, just for fun. You know. Uh-oh, we took a little bit of damage. Why are you following Elliptic's same species background choices? Well, that is because... Let's get strength. I didn't have to do that. I'm doing it because he has the longest streak of all time if you count the... No. Please ask whatever questions you want, Ben. That's totally cool. I like to talk about this kind of stuff, so it's totally fine. Essentially, he has the longest streak of all time if you're counting the bugged games from back when there was a glitch that gave double melee damage. So the way I figure it, if I do the streak with the exact same combos, you know, I had a really long streak before, which was like 37 wins or something like that, but a lot of them were deep dwarves. And deep dwarves, as I've said, are pretty strong, so basically no one could possibly denigrate the streak if it's got the same combos. So that's one good reason. But also because it's like, that's not really the main reason, that's just like a nice side effect. It's also because it's just like an interesting set of games, essentially. And I'm curious to see if, you know, I can get through all of them. Barring bad luck, I should be able to. But at the same time, I mean, it doesn't take too many mistakes in DCSS to lose. Oh, that's a Che altar. We are not going Che. Let's poison the worm. Should probably I'm going to clear off my macro on the spacebar that I usually use to heal for the rest key, which is usually 5. I'm clearing that off because I keep pressing it, and well, I'm a deep dwarf, so that does nothing for me. Just melee this guy. His poison really can't do anything to me. Unless it stacks a lot. Deep dwarfs have this thing called damage shaving that is essentially like a very tiny amount of damage reduction for every single attack. Still trying to get my first 3-rune win, plus I've got to the final floor of Zod as my MF5 if you read. Well, Redemnule is a really good god, so if you want to win, that's certainly a solid one to start with. Since he makes you, he gives you friends, so to speak. Okay, I'm going to use my first heal. Let's hope it doesn't steal any mana. It does not. We have some scrolls of Identify. Why don't we use them? Found degen, random uselessness. I mean, that's some pretty bad identifies. I just tab these jackals. There is a hand axe on the floor, so we could start training that if we were so inclined. I'm going to pick it up, but I probably won't start training until a little bit later, mainly because we found evocations, so I might as well just take that to 10, and a small chance we'll find a better weapon or something. I mean, with Zerk, there's really not a lot that I can't kill with this +2 dagger. And having more of a chance to evoke Berserk Rage is nice. Hey, Vampiric Dagger. Scroll of Noise, we'll drop that. Vampiric Dagger, +1 versus +2 dagger. Fine. It's kind of weird to use a Vampiric Dagger, but whatever. I'm a deep dwarf, so kind of will help me a bit. Shouldn't have zerked here. This is just pure hubris. I didn't even look at what that short sword was. That's draining. Wow. That's really good. Oops. I'm slow next to this guy. Why don't we... Well, we tried to curare him. He's still only as fast as me, actually a little slower. Wipe the slow off. I'm going to drop the Vampire Dagger, that's silly. Let's use the short sword though. It's kind of very easy for me to get ahead of myself on a character like this, because Deep Dwarves are just so strong. But I shouldn't really let that happen, you know. Like, this sort of flagrant berserking is not something I should be doing. Staff, this could be a good swap. Let's identify a potion, use some of these scrolls. We had 4 sphere, now we have 3. We have an amnesia, which I'm not going to need, so we'll just drop that. And we'll make sure we don't pick any more up. And use more multi-stacks. Enchant weapon, that's good. I'll enchant up the draining just for now. I won't use the other 2. We'll save that for a good axe. Immolation, fine. And blink. A little surprised that we did not find any remove curse, but that's fine. I'd like to find out what this ring is, but I can't safely do it until I have remove curse. No shields yet. No aux slots that we are lacking. Let's just go down. Still training fighting and evocations, totally fine with it. We'll Zerk here. Zerk already started to end. That's lame, so we just went up. Actually, let's go down a different staircase. That's the truly safe way to use Berserk, is to stand on a staircase while you do it. That way, if more stuff comes, you're not in the position where you're just getting owned, you know. Still waiting on my Makhleb altar, but we're only on D4, so... Oh, this may very well be Temple. Yep, it is. Doesn't guarantee Makhleb, though. And in fact, yeah, Makhleb's not here. So on a Deep Dwarf, you don't have to go Makhleb. It just makes things really simple. I could go Trog if I wanted to and heal with him. I could go Retinul and have a really weird time trying to heal with that. I could go, well, I don't see Rue here, but we could go Rue. And if I had a vampiric weapon, I could go anybody. I could go Kiku for the vamp train, but I'm not trying to have some kind of nonsense, you know, really complicated game right now. I just want to tab a lot. So we're gonna, you know, we're going to do this. We have a ton of heal wounds, by the way. But yeah, we're just going to hold out. Also, we found a wand of disintegration. Might just use it on this dude. Save myself some trouble. Oh god, just auto-explored into an ogre. That's adorable. Took the full damage. Well, I don't know exactly how much he did, but we're waiting for random energy. Up we go. Heal myself. Funniest thing about that is we can kill an ogre pretty easily. Yeah, I'm going to curare him. And he goes down. Let's turn on axe training to 18. That's where broad axes stop. We actually found a war axe. Not branded, but that's, you know, good enough. It's funny how we found everything but Fed HOSk, Makhleb, and Uskawa. They warn you about that, but nobody ever listens until it actually happens. Are you referring to my auto-explore into an ogre? It's pretty lame. You know what? Just gonna do this. Yeah, pretty much in GMAT. I mean, if I die to auto-explore, I guess I'll just accept it, you know, because the alternative is just too painful, as you say. You know what? I am going to change this back to 5, my spacebar macro, just because I use it to lure things to me. I'll just try to remember I am indeed a deep dwarf. That was a great base. It's a pretty excellent find so early in the game. It could be disto, but you know what? I'm going to roll the dice. Great Mace of Protection. Oh gosh, this thing is going to swing so slow and I don't want to go maces. I don't think we're going to go for it. Let's see how fast we attack. 1.6, that's not terrible. And the protection actually helps. No, we're not using this. I mean, that bee almost wrecked us. I'd rather attack faster. This ogre should die. There we go. A lot of ogres so far. Can't complain. We've got the blowgun, so found Uskawa, found Kazlal, another copy of him. No Makhleb. Probably Zerk this dude. We don't have RC+, but Zerk is pretty well, I don't want to say guaranteed, but pretty likely to solve my problems for me. I try not to self-heal unless I have about 20 hit points off from max. Thanks to finding this amulet, we have tons of mana. Being able to train evocations means that your mana pretty much flies up. With +3 aptitude. Okay. Just disintegrate the jelly. That was lame. Can we have some better luck this time? Yeah. Super, super not worried about this game, especially like, even if I wasn't a Deep Dwarf, having a wand of Disintegrate with so many charges is almost like a free game, to be honest. I got wrecked by that one jelly, yeah. Just bad luck on that. Hey man, jellies are no joke. Play the Mumo challenge if you want to see what jellies can do. Come on. Oh, come on. I'm drinking a heal wounds. Mainly because I didn't want to be rotted anymore. This is good that there's a white here. I hope there's a pack because there may be an enchanted axe. I wasn't lucky enough to find that, but I did find Makhleb, so we'll go Makhleb. I found a helmet that is enchanted this time. It's actually just cursed +0. Okay, fine. Yeah, jellies are weird because it's like you think they're going to be harmless, and probably 9 times out of 10 they are, and then one day they just decide to, you know, spam their powers at you and corrode you and murder you, you know what I mean? Let's go up. Should have done that sooner, shouldn't have zerked. It's okay though. TRJ has taught me many painful lessons. Well, I just mean like the basic jellies, the little level 1 jellies, you know? Centaur skeleton should go down pretty fast. Oh, there's a hound here. I didn't even see that. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. We passed out. We could have died there. Shit. From fainting. I knew it. That's why you don't zerk, man. You don't zerk next to these guys. Let's descent him. That was dumb. Imagine if I had died to a hungry ghost just from autopiloting, basically. That would have been sad. We actually got parried. That's why I started to back off, because I was starving and I wanted the zerk to end, but we kind of had some bad RNG, which can happen, you know, where you just get paralyzed. Very unlikely to happen if you're worshipping Trog, but everybody else just kind of suffers. Never Zerk next to a hungry ghost. Yep. Yep. Although there's a lot of things you really shouldn't Zerk next to be honest. Zerk is not a particularly good tool to rely on for surviving really rough situations in the way that most people use it. Alright, what's all this now? I know there's Moth of Wrath in there, which probably means I'm not going in. What's the ghost? Dang it, Minotaur Gladiator? Huh. Alright. We can do this with wands. And it might be worth it. That cloak could be like MR Plus or something. Just scroll in there too. Okay, we got Tela. That would be the prerequisite for doing this. Got Remove Curse. +5 evasion, hell yeah. And stealth, which I could give or take. I got Zerked, but I got the two things out of there that I wanted. I paid 1 teleport for a magical cloak and a different scroll. And it is in fact MR+, so that was entirely worth it. And I teleported before there was even a chance for the Moth to do anything to me. He could have Zerked one of the enemies, but whatever, I have enough defense that I could survive long enough to telly. We could have used certain other resources, perhaps, like maybe a Fear. Maybe that would have been better since I have more Fear than telly, but it doesn't really matter that much. Alright. We have 10 axes. I think it's about time for me to drop this freaking draining short blade. As much as I like having a branded weapon, I think that 10 training beats it, you know. Up we go. Right as the Berserk's about to end, come back down, come back up. Whoa! Whoa, what the hell? That's a deep elf archer. What's he doing on D8? What's... That is just rude. We can deal with it with wands, but goddamn, that's it's no joke, man. He could just perma-confuse you. Sort of goes to show I probably shouldn't be tabbing. Pull these guys up. Zerk, take out the warrior. Somehow I got drained. I don't know how that happened. Oh, wow. That's rough. The centaur had a rapier of draining. It's ugly as hell. Yeah, there's our boy. So we have to use Ice Blast on him, essentially, for a safe kill. Certainly we didn't want to get perma-confused by him. This is fine. If this starts to go badly, I'm just going to start disintegrating. Actually, you know what? We'll Zerk. Save myself a resource. Makhleb should start healing me soon. More reliably. I think technically he already is healing me, it's just very, very rare. You know what? I hate fighting invisible things, really, just really, very, very much. Wow, okay, okay, okay. Okay, guys. Hydra to priests. This is a pretty outrageous D8, I have to say. I don't know what the hell's going on here. A Centaur Warrior? What do you have? Staff of Earth. Heal myself. Swing on you. Yeah, that was a Komodo dragon. I mean, this floor is out of depths as hell. I mean, there better be lair on this floor, because otherwise it's just ridiculous. Imagine if I wasn't a deep dwarf. I'd be having some serious trouble instead of just sort of steamrolling through it. This game hates me right now. I can't complain, not on this character. Although that Hydra's pretty lame, I have to say. Because we have to burn a lot of our wands to kill him. Oh, I should not have zerked here. That was a mistake. Out in the open like that. I'll do it here, though. Found a necromancy book. I don't really care about any of that. I mean, I could learn Vamp Drain as a DD. It's kind of handy. There's a blowgun here, I guess. Okay, it's +3, fine. I mean, not really that interesting. Ring of Evasion. It's -2. See Invisible. That's a good find. But nothing I found on this floor really justifies how bullshit tough it was. Amulet of Magic regen, we don't need that. Yeah, that was outrageous. And no lair entrance. On the plus side, we have 2 pips now, so we'll heal with much greater regularity, and got that battle axe. So at the very least, until we find a shield, the battle axe is the way to go. Don't want to be petrified. Okay, we got him. D9, I just got the message, what the hell? Well, this is a deep dwarf, so... also, Twitch may have... Twitch may not have told you soon enough, perhaps. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, on a deep dwarf, you tend to fly through the game. You haven't really missed much. Nothing dangerous has happened. Well, like, one dangerous thing happened, but it was all my fault. which is that I zerked next to a hungry ghost and could have starved to death, potentially. +1 boots. Caster? No, we're assassin. Dang, had to use up all of our had to use up all of our Ice Blast to take down that Hydra. Really obnoxious for a Hydra to be right on layer 1 like that. But what can I do, you know? I'm not zerking here because I know it's not the right thing to do. These things will jump all around. Not having a very good time meleeing them. Wow, I'm actually kind of stunned that we had Hydra layer 1 and then a pack of these guys. Literally, I would say among the worst starts that you could get in the lair. Yeah, they do 20 damage, and they're fast. They can actually do 40 damage. So I'm going to just pull them up one at a time and heal myself if need be. I do have a ranged option. What am I doing? I'm just going to do this. Almost forgot that I started as an assassin. Pull this guy up. As sick as possible, that's good. There's the poison. Got him. How about some easy monsters, I say, as I run into a spiny frog. Thankfully, we're able to rage down the spiny frog. That didn't necessarily have to go perfectly, but it did, so can't complain. Two spiny frogs? Damn, dude. Alright, I'm gonna use an agility. I can heal myself. I could zerk through this if I wanted to, but I shouldn't. We have agility, which certainly helps. If I get two spiny frogs on me, though, you know what? I'm gonna zerk now. That's fine. 3 spiny frogs in a row we just fought. All in the same fight. I have noticed that every time I play a Deep Dwarf, I get into these sort of insane situations where it's like, man, if I wasn't a Deep Dwarf, this would suck. And I just happen to be a Deep Dwarf, so the sort of unfairness of it doesn't register quite as much. Oh, speaking of bad situations, why don't we fear? So that was Herald. Herald's here. Herald's here, and I don't want to get marked. I have one last descent, and I certainly don't want to use it on him. I should check and see how much damage he can do. Not Heraldal, or Heraldo, but Herald. 2d12, 24 damage, alright. With the harpoon shot. And then 20 plus hand axe, which is, what, 26, 27. It's really not that bad. We could zerk and slaughter him, but I'm more concerned with being marked, which is 31%, even with the cloak of magic resistance. or marked. But I made a servant. So he helps me out. Now we have 3 nets. Heal myself. The floor was pretty much done, I guess, or at least that side of it. So Mark didn't really do anything. Wow, Gastronaut. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Back off from him. Blowgun time indeed. Hey, man. Oops. To be honest, he's so slow. I can use like worm strats against him if I want to. At range, shoot, and then walk. The funny thing about Gastronaut is he might have a ton of hit points, 150, but he's got no he's got no poison resistance. Yeah, worm strats. Envy, in this game there's a monster called a worm, and he's very, very, very slow, but he does like 12 damage. And that's a pretty good chunk of damage at level 1. More than some characters have. But because he's so slow, you can sort of walk away from him, and if you time it right, he'll absolutely never get an attack on you, or he'll almost never get an attack on you. It's pretty cool. Gastronaut's the same way, because he is of a species of monster that's been taken out of the game, called an elephant slug, and he's got the same speed problem. Actually gain 1 AC from wearing a +2 hat over a +0 helmet. +4 glaive of many curses. We're going to carry that with us because that lets us kill hydras. Fancy. It is a fancy hat. It could be a little fancier. I kind of wish it was, well, best case scenario, Hat of the Alchemist, or slightly, certainly not as good but still great, Hat of MR+. But hey, I'll take another AC. Can't say no. We have remove curse. I should try these staves on. Okay, neither of these are resistances, so we drop them. 3 staffs and no resistances. Kind of a shame. What about Spirit? Well, because this game is programmed badly, Burr Spirit would just drop my mana to 0 forever, which wouldn't really matter. But I guess I would take it because it has the MR++ on it, right? It is kind of a shame that you don't get the Spirit Shield aspect of it, though, if you're a Deep Dwarf. I struggle to understand why Bear Spirit or any Spirit Shield doesn't work for dwarfs. If you quaff potions of magic. Let me just worship... Hey, bro, let me just worship Picellus and get, like, unlimited spirits of potions of magic. Go back to a Picellus version. Alright, we don't... Outside of spamming lesser demons or whatever, we don't really have a good way of killing the OgLob right now. So we might just let him be. Certainly at least until the floor's over. Whoa! Alright, guy. There we go. Had a bad RNG against him. Probably should have pulled him back and zerked, to be honest. Guy named Komodo Dragon. Alright, let's pull these guys back to a hallway, and I will zerk against them. Easy enough. I'm slowed here, but that has ended, so should be able to melee this stuff no problem. Yeah, don't joke around with these Komodo dragons. They can do 34 damage a pop. I lost a streak once to these guys relatively recently, where I got petrified near one, and 34 is enough to bust through the petrify defense. The extra defense it gives you. We'll Zerk this. Please don't. No. Okay. Don't let me get paralyzed. Took a little longer than I was comfortable with there. Let's just not fight this thing. Robe of Cold Resist, wearing an uncursed ring of ice. This is Fanar. We lack RC+, so he gets to do his full 54 damage to us. I guess I could go grab that Robe of Cold Resist and use that. Kind of silly, though. I don't really want to wear a robe as a big warrior man, but it sort of makes sense. That halves the amount of damage you can do to me. And he has good MR, so even with Descent, which cuts through MR a bit, 49% chance to work, so kind of annoying. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to do demons. Okay, that's one. Okay, that's two. They're not the demons I would have wanted, but they're the demons I've got. So we're just going to... I could swing. I could Zerk. I don't really want to Zerk because my escape here is a teleport and that could end badly. I could drink agility, I probably should, but we'll just, yeah, we just swing on him until he's dead. I'll put my plate armor back on now. You notice I haven't trained any invocations? I mean, it's not like I couldn't. I have +3 aptitude. I just don't have to. Like 22%, 21% hostile on the servant is really not that bad, especially if I can just sort of walk away. It's super free. Alright, you're right. I should take it to 5. I'm just being very OCD about the fact that I want my axes up to min delay. But it is super free. +3 aptitude's outrageous. I could get mutated by a hostile Nekazek. Now that really sells me. That I don't want. It is kind of funny that a lot of my Deep Dwarf games, though, I've like just not trained invocations at all. So we have evasion there. That kind of makes me want to clear this vault somehow. I probably could do it with Descent. But at what cost? Well, the cost is several charges, at least. Why don't we just come back with demons or something? Those will probably do the job. But that Ring of Evasion, man, that could be good. Cursed Ring of Teleport, oh god. Not on this floor, that's for sure. Apparently I've had a Ring of Ice, I think that was Fanar's. That really does drop the fail rate quickly. We're already at 4% with only 3.1 invocations. I think it's somewhat based on... Jesus, man, this guy named Komodo Dragon just doesn't want to die. Reminding me again that I should be Zerking them. Our gear seems less than stellar. That's why I'm having trouble in melee. I mean, I can't complain too much. I've got a battle axe. If the game really wanted to be mean to me, we could just only have a hand axe. And I mean, most of our slots are filled, and we have a +5 Ring of Evasion. It's just what we really want is like a shield, you know, or at least more AC. But yeah, it is less than stellar. It's not bad, but Amulet is carrying. That'll, I mean, hell, even if this wasn't a deep dwarf, the Amulet would be enough to get us through layer alone. Oops, starving. To be honest, I should stop using my heal and just zerk more kills for the healing. Hey, Redback. Blast him. Zerk him down for the last hit. I can fight a moccasin while slowed. That works. Redbacks are terrifying. Not so much for this character, but this is a dumb question, but why go Assassin if you aren't going to use daggers? I assume they're better than Fighter at hybrid builds or something. No, that's not a dumb question. Speaking of hybrid builds, I mean, the thing about Assassin is it's just a decent start. Having Curare at the beginning of the game means it's very hard for the early game to screw you over. But I'm not actually picking these combos for efficacy or really any... There's no tactical thought that's going into what combos I'm playing. I am copying the every game, every combo that's in a streak in the longest streak that's ever been done in this game because I'm trying to get the world record. And I'm doing it in such a way that no one will be able to say that my streak is like of less value than that guy's because it's literally the same combos. So it's kind of a competitive thing, I guess. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Since you are an assassin, why not go daggers? Because I'm a deep dwarf, your species kind of points you towards what weapon you should be using more than anything. If you looked at my aptitudes, axes is +1, short blades is -1, so this tiny little -1 apt 1.7 level short blades that I started out with is just... it's going to make me have a much more annoying mid-game, basically, than just going axes. You know, some MRG hater will discount the streak because you worshipped Gozag too often or something. Yeah, and that hypothetical person can... that hypothetical person can go pound sand. I don't give a shit. Like, there's no pleasing everyone. And I agree with you. There's going to be someone that's going to find some reason to be a jerk about it, and that's fine with me. For me, it's just like, I'm not really doing this for anyone else. I kind of phrased it that way, but that's not really what I meant. I'm doing it because I want to feel like I did something that was on par, you know, competitively with the best that was ever done in the game, so to speak. Yeah, I probably will be somebody like that, some asshole. Right, this is really annoying because I don't have Wand of Flame, so killing this is, well, let's... Okay, this is fine. Smoke demons are actually immune to being petrified, so this is the perfect demon. This is the perfect demon for me to get. I find it more entertaining as a spectator. Well, that's the thing as well. Like, I'm picking games that I don't even really want to play in terms of like thinking it's survivable, and that does make it more interesting because these are combos I would never pick unless somebody picked them for me. How come you're playing the game wrong? I wouldn't know because I am Twitch chat. See, Envy, your opinion I'll listen to because you're one of the few people who donates the bits. So your words have a lot more weight for me than some knuckle dragger in the peanut gallery. You know, use more scythes. All right, I'll try to get on that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, scythes are really cool looking weapons. I can't deny that's a fact. Unfortunately, in DCSS, they're just not very good. MiAK and I used next. We both lost streaks as CeCK. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think CeCK. I mean, there's enough RNG bullshit in this game already for you to add Chaos Knight to the mix. I almost lost both of my CeKs, but especially the Centaur. And if that's happening on a power combo like a Centaur, I mean, come on. it's enough. If scythes could cleave and hit 3 tiles in front of you. Honestly, like if you gave them all Rift-style extra reach, I think size would not be unbalanced, you know? Because they'd still have all the bad things about being a scythe. So I might very well add that to my game. Of course, that makes Sigmund a lot more scary. Did you use the Chaos weapon as CeCK? No. I dropped it as soon as it was convenient to do so. Because that's suicidal, basically, to stick with that. Polymorph high roll from the weapon, not Zom. Yeah, I mean, I would have dropped it ASAP. You just didn't have like a... It just happened early on, is what you're saying? Like before you had a... Yeah, Rhyme Drake on D1. Yeah, I didn't really think about that, so I don't think I dropped it that soon. Now that I think about it, though, maybe that is the optimal thing to do. Yeah, zero skill UC is pretty bad. I feel like you have to... Well, okay, one of my combos was Minotaur, so zero skill UC on a Minotaur is fine, because you could literally hold the dot button, the period, on D1, and probably win as a Minotaur as things just sort of suicide into your horns. Centaur... Oh, can you do that? Yeah, you can, can't you? So it's not zero skill. I should have done that. I don't think I did that, and I should have. That'd be fine, especially on the species that Elliptic played. He just shoved me off twice in a row. Yeah, after being told that story, man, and just sort of thinking on times when Polymorph has owned me, not necessarily from a Chaos weapon, but just from like a wand, I think I'll be doing that as well if I ever have to streak CeCK again. Which you do in a tournament setting if you're trying to get all 24 tournament legal wins in a row. And depending on the species, I mean, it might even be okay, like a null Chaos Knight. You know, you're probably going to end up transmuting anyway, so why not? CeCK first or immediately after my speed runs? That makes sense. I remember going for the easy wins first. But, I mean, different schools of thought. Okay, I disintegrated that mob because he's faster than me, and I actually want to run away for a while and go to a staircase. Now, unfortunately, this damn Hydra, who has 6 heads, has some random energy happening, so he could have caused me some problems there. But he didn't, thankfully. Wow, what is all this? Seems to be a bit of a busy floor. But yeah, I suppose CeCK is the biggest possible crapshoot in the entire game, which is saying something, you know. One wyvern at a time, we're clearing this floor. I mean, I could just like Zerk and try to kill all this crap at once, but that's not the safe way to go about things. If I was playing under Trog, perhaps I'd do that, you know, away from a staircase, just because I know that my Zerk is going to get extended and I'm probably not going to end up paralyzed. But the reality with non-Trog is the para is just too likely for you to really want to do any of that. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, I am into lay on axes and I've been training fighting. In fact, we should take armor and dodging to 5 at least, taking fighting to 10. Pair of boots. Just another +1, we can drop one of those. You hack one of the 6-headed Hydra's heads off. 1.1 speed with this thing. Remember, we're getting a little bit of cross-training on the polearms, so we can just melee this dude. Taking off his heads one by one. Easy enough, right? Very nice of the game to give me a flaming weapon, even if it's not an axe. Is it worth, as a caster, training staves and evo for melee with things like Staff of Earth for crushing? I don't think so. But other people have disagreed with me on that. I personally think that's a waste. I'd rather just keep being a caster. Yeah, training the evo is good, but that's just because evo is amazing. Training it specifically, like training staves, wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do that. Let's go up. Yeah, we got the old Min-May Frog Pond. The best vault in the game. The worst vault in the game. The most balanced. I don't know, man. There are some layer endings that I would actually want even less than Frog Pond, but you know, it's like the thing about Frog Pond is like it's not particularly dangerous, I guess. I mean, it is dangerous, but it's more tedious than anything because you just bounce around from staircase to staircase, and it's just real stupid. Whereas the one, I don't know what it's called, but the one that has the Guardian Serpent scares me more, because if you get bad lucked hard enough, why am I not surprised to learn it's a Min-May layout? I think even Min-May admits it's a dogshit vault and wants to take it out of the game, which is really surprising since Min-May's opinions on things usually blow. But maybe the vault is just that bad. The fire ending scares you? The one with the fire, the lava and stuff in the center? Yeah, I mean, magma gargoyles are spooky dooky. I hate blink frogs, my god. Whoops, a little bad movement there. Yeah, Fire Crab, I mean, if you don't have RF plus or like a blink scroll, Fire Crab can just end this man's whole career single-handedly. Well, NG Matt, that kind of depends on RNG, doesn't it? I mean, the game might just not give you any. You guys may be wondering, like, gee, Malcolm, you have 4 enchant weapon, why aren't you using them? Oh, it's because I don't have a broad axe, and I don't have a branded anything, really, any branded axe, so, I mean, I'm a deep dwarf. I can afford to hang out here a minute, you know? If I was like any other species, perhaps I wouldn't take such a risk, but... Oh, this guy caught me while I was slowed. So we descent a couple times. Got petrified by a basilisk. It was the only thing on the screen. Then when I pressed enter, I had a fire crab adjacent to me. Got petrified again, read tele. Got sent like 4 tiles away. That's so brutal, man. This is one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of MR threats. You know, I prefer things that force the player to play well. You know, Dream Sheep, outside of a few minor changes I'd make, I actually really like as an enemy. Okay, more stuff is coming to ambush me, so we go up. Whoops. It's completely playing too fast. I just literally threw that descent at nothing. How about we go up and not be slowed anymore? It's just, these blink frogs are really funny on this character because they're not going to kill me. They're just going to take forever to kill. Let's lure this guy. Okay, I'm sad that there's a blink frog here, but whatever. Typically would never berserk next to one, but this character will be fine. But yeah, bad tellies really are the worst. You know, in situations like that where it's the Hail Mary move. I guess the only fault I can have with the decisions as described would be I probably would have teleported as soon as the fire crab was next to me before getting petrified for the second time, unless I'm just misreading. It's possible I'm sort of misreading the description of events there. Shouldn't have zerked here. There could be a Hydra that just flies across this water. I did though, or blinked first. Huh. Oh, come on. Come on, let me hit you. I know I'm in the water. There we go. Got Val Clutch, Borgnor's Val Clutch. That's, that may even tempt me into casting on a on a Deep Dwarf, which I almost never do. Staff of Air, that's a swap for Arlek, I'll take that. You read Fear? Seems like a pretty good plan. It didn't work, I guess. At full hit points, Fear seems like the right move. Oh shit, yeah, that's true. Petrify is an emergency class thing. When you're using Fear, you gotta always remember, like, I'll never fear Irolcha because, oh crap. Parried. But I purposely ran away. I knew if I got parried, it wouldn't be long enough for the Hydra to actually reach me. Let's teleport. Okay, this is ugly. Let's take a step. Let's make a demon. My demon gets wrecked. Let's make another demon. That's a better demon, but he gets wrecked too. Hey, what's up, WaifuGate? Wish I wasn't slow right now. I don't think I can get. I don't think I can get just like straight up murdered, even while slowed. Like I don't think he could petrify me. Let's make a friend. There we go. Finally, get a little help. Good help, so hard to find these days. How are you tonight, WaifuGate? We're having a very easy run on account of being a deep dwarf. It may look hard, but that's just because I'm kind of making some goofy choices. Use the fire glaive, take out the Hydra. I get by with a little help from my friends. It's true. Alright, well, doesn't he pointed out that there's a glowing crossbow, and while I typically just ignore such things, I really probably should. Best practice, I should take a look. Oh look, speaking of taking a look, this Hydra's come to take a look at me. And I make him pay. Yeah, WaifuGate, do you know what I'm doing? I'm doing the it's called the Elliptic Streak. It's there's a guy, an old dev, who basically has the longest the world record, longest number of wins in a row. And so I'm copying all the combos that he did. So some of them are easy. This is one of the few particularly easy ones. So it's kind of a nice rest. And then next game we'll just get pizzoned on FoSk probably. All right. It is the longest combo ever. I mean, depending on if you want to count the bugged wins, there are 10 games that were taking place at a time in Trunk where people were getting double damage on melee. How do I plan on choosing next if I finish the combo? That's so far away because we're at like, this is the 20th game. There are 43 in the streak if you count the melee bug games, so I really haven't thought about it. I might let Twitch decide, like veto certain things. Probably no like Chaos Knights. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do ZXC streak after that. Okay, there's a scarf down here. There doesn't seem to be anything else in this vault. It's probably not worth doing with all these Moths of Wrath, so we're not going to do it. I mean, I already have an MR plus cloak, which is all the MR plus we need the entire game, actually, if we get enough levels. So all characters are different in this streak. That's right. There are no duplicates, as far as I can tell. There are some like things with the same background, and there are things with the same species, but there's no exact duplicates. All right, still no Broadaxe. Still no Broadaxe. That's kind of a shame. Let's whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and do Orc. I know that I'm technically not immune to Orc sorcerers, but it's at 1%, so I feel pretty confident about it. And that's Orc right there. You can tell because there's some Beog statues out in front. Come on, Makhleb, give me some heals so I can tab this stuff. There we go. Hey, buddy, what do you got there? Battle Axe of Chopping. Let's pull him. At the very least, I'll take his weapon. We'll probably find a oops. We will probably find a shield down there, but at the very least I think we will find a broadaxe. I mean, we could get unlucky and find neither. Little water break there. No, I mean, we'll probably walk out of there with everything that we need to finish the game, to be honest. From a very bare bones perspective, at least. And technically we have everything we need to finish the game already, but it would be a real unfun game. I'd like to at least have a shield. But with this brand, I mean, that changes everything by itself. We're going to just crush things now. Let's go back to Orc. Or go into Orc for the first time, anyway. A battle axe chopping, which we just found, whatever. Try not to tab too fast. I gotta keep an eye out for sorcerers. I don't have RF plus, so they can do a good 60, I think 60 damage, is that right? Maybe more, actually. Orc, sorcerer. 3d17, so less than 60, more like 51, but still, that's a lot. Oh god! Speaking of RF plus, well, we have resistance. We'll drink that immediately. We're going to soften these dudes up with some Ice Blast. Starts to Hellfire me, that's fine. Let's just keep killing him with Ice Blast. And then we'll Acid. Good. Yeah, Azrael can do a good bit of damage. Pull this Deep Troll up. Seems as though we've gotten the giant ending. A lot of fun things in here. You know, let's not die to all the fun things. Big if true, true if big. Massive if verifiable. Things I'm most afraid of are these big boys right here who have a 2% chance to paralyze me. Unhappy day when we get this ending on on account of those guys. You know what? Let's take armor and fighting to 10. Nothing else to train, really. I mean, or armor and dodging. We'll take fighting to 15, I suppose. But yeah, we'll, if true, big. Nice syntax. Switch true, big, colon. All the non-programmers in the Twitch chat have no idea what the hell I'm saying. Okay, I'm trying to juke these guys such that I'm not risking getting paralyzed at any moment. That's why I'm kind of jumping from staircase to staircase. Okay, here's one of the boys. Let's try to stay behind enemies. I'm gonna make a lesser servant, order them both to kill the mage. Why are switch statements a bad programming meme? I like switches, I always have. And I was always made fun of in college for that, but I don't care. I think there's a certain elegance to them. Okay, he'll die if I Ice Blast him. Some languages let you do some truly insane things with switches as well, like PHP. Just put just about anything you want in there. I think Python might let you do some wacky things with switches as well. pull these dudes up. Some people misuse them hilariously. Who's Toby Fox again? I know who this person is, I just can't remember. Oh, he made Undertale, right? I don't know, man. The cascading thing has always felt really neat to me. You know, if you could find, I mean, you kind of almost have to shoehorn it in, but there are reasons to use it. Legitimate ones. I'm using sack of spiders. I hate to waste it, but... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. He's the LCS Bolt Man. Oh, God. At least he's not the paralysis guy. Ogre Mage. How much damage does he do? Is it 60? I thought it's 60. 3d18 fire. Okay, almost 60. I'll use my resistance. I'll use my heal wounds. Technically, I'm in range for Crystal Spear, so let's get out of range for Crystal Spear. Okay, and down he goes to the ant. We got to, well, I was going to say we got to keep our sack of spiders, but I would be lying if I said that, because we didn't. LCS already, this run is mean. Well, that just happens sometimes. On almost any other character, I would have seen the fact that this is the giant ending to Orc and probably turned 360 degrees and moonwalked away. But this is a deep dwarf, so I can take a beating and keep on going, basically. Let's mark these things down for purchase. Actually, I'm going to buy that scroll right now, because that could be... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use that. Okay, it's enchant armor. I would have laughed real hard if that was acquirement, because that costs like 2,000 gold if you have it identified, and like 30 gold if you don't. Doesn't he is posting presumably an image of code in my chat. Remember to comment your code. Case 864. Tell me there's not an 864 plus sized switch block there. No, it's way bigger. He probably deleted, the tweets appear to be gone, he probably deleted them in shame. Why would you... I'm struggling to understand an appropriate reason to have a switch that big. I mean, it sounds like he just sort of replaced the logic, the logic of his program entirely with a giant switch, somehow. Sounds pretty goofy to me. Apparently this switch handles all of the yes-no choices in the game. Yeah, so, yeah, I could... That's ugly, but there's no reason it doesn't work. Pick one of two instances. Here's an artifact chainmail. We'll check that out here in a minute. Potions are always good. Well, hey, Toby Fox is probably a millionaire, so many times over. So I can make fun of doing something like that in code, but he's the one who managed to build something that made him super rich, so I have to at least respect the hustle. As much as I actually kind of hate Undertale. Not the game itself, but just like the fan base. You know, the kind of people who are obsessed with Undertale. I'm gonna buy this potion of haste. Tumblr the game, basically. +5 chainmail, dex +8. That's pretty damn sexy. It has our poise on it too, so that'll be really good for Spider Nest. A lot of gold left over. Well, I'll try out these boots. Could be running. Boots of flying. I mean, I'll stop flying, but those are good, I guess. Let's go ahead and drop flight then. Finally some good gear. Yeah, I know, right? We've been needing. Well, I mean, again, though, Deep Dwarf, can't complain. The Deep Dwarf could beat the game with like a burlap sack and a stick with an edge, so I mean, we can make it work. Let's get this amulet. I hope it's reflect. I'm even going to roll the dice on it being harm. It's Guardian Spirit, whatever. Take it off, sadly. Do we have cancellation? We have 4 cancellation. That's pretty sexy. Let's just buy let's buy this might. Buy the curing. I can't afford all this crap. Buy the heal wounds. Buy the other curing. Probably should have bought Invis, but whatever. We'll get the rest of this stuff later. Inclined to just sort of get some consumables, you know. You can never really go wrong buying consumables. You're going to find a use for them. Back to dungeon. Let's see if we're immune to wizards now. 2%. So I probably don't want to be in the dungeon. I suppose we'll finish D10, which... Wow, that's a Mace of Disto. Haha, you're an adder now. Hey, thanks, man. Have a good night. Not like you need the good luck playing DD. Pretty much. I mean, like I was saying, this is a well-deserved rest, you know? We had a kind of a rough start on that octopode. Joseph. What was the hardest combo ahead? Well, the next one is the one I'm scared of the most, perhaps. And that is a Formicid Scald, which just blows, if I'm being honest. We'll probably go Spears to start out with on him, and then still have a rough time in the early game, because any Blink Scroll we find is useless, any Teleport we find is useless. I mean, there's just a lot of reasons. There's just a lot of reasons why it'll be rough. I mean, Scald is not a good background, you know, and then a few games after that, we've got to play a Vinestalker Scald, which is really not much better, perhaps worse even, since it gets a hit point penalty, although maybe not. The bite is pretty nice, I guess. And then, let's see, Gargoyle Transmuter is actually a surprisingly deceptively hard combo. There's a Hillorc Scald. I'm less worried about that because Hillorcs are a really good species. Human Abyssal Knight might be kind of hard. So Formicid Fire Elementalist, that's just going to be stupid. Yeah, there's a few reasonably hard things coming up. Nothing that I would say qualifies as like horrifically undoable, you know, but then again, there's no combo in the game that's like straight up undoable. FoSk comes pretty close, you know. I would say FoSk is among the worst combos in the entire game. Although I'm sure someone will disagree. Anyway, we did all of Orca, we didn't get any broad axes or shields, so whatever I said earlier was just a straight up lie. I'm inclined to finish dungeon just to look for those. Musk. Well, in addition to being a extremely gross sounding combo, yeah, that is pretty bad. Musk. Ugh. I mean, really, if you just attach Scald to any already crappy species, then you're gonna be in for a wild ride. Maybe I should train some more invocations so I can get greater demons. since the game doesn't want to give me my shield. We might have to play this as intended and not just as a tabomancer. +9 hunting sling, Retimul's pride. I mean, I could drop my crossbow velocity, I guess. But yeah, I mean, down here I could find like a, well, I could find white packs like I just found. I could find a Death Knight. You know, there's a lot of things. I could find vault guards guarding the vault entrance. There's a lot of stuff that could have my broadaxe. There's a lot of stuff that could have a shield for that matter. Kind of some of the same things I listed, but not all. Only risk I'm taking is running into an MR threat. But then again, this character is level 14 now, and he's worshipping Makhleb, so if I were to get a Bist, it wouldn't be the end of the world. If I were to get paralyzed, well, that would suck. Why did I acid this guy? I should have just meleeed him. Waste of resources. Need Leo Littlebook to yell at me for consumable attrition. I used polymorph on him because I wanted him to be a green ugly thing, or perhaps a purple ugly thing, but definitely not an ugly thing with a resistance, a thing that I don't have resistance for. Although I suppose I could have popped my Ring of Ice on, come to think of it. By the way, I haven't forgotten about that Ring of Evasion. I should go get that at some point. Although, I mean, unless it's like +5 or +6, I almost prefer to have Sinv. So as not to be surprised by things, you know. Hey, level 15. It's kind of funny that the conventional wisdom is to just finish dungeon after lair, and I hate doing that. You know, like to the point where I'm only doing it on something like a Deep Dwarf that can take this kind of stupid bullshit. Like, look, shafted 2 floors down to D15. Oh boy. What a fun time. Anybody who watched my CSDC knows exactly how much of a fun time I had with this crap. And look at this. Look at this. This could have been ugly. Oh, hey, buddy. You can... Shit, you can paralyze me. Agility. Nice. What do you got there? Battle axe of chopping. Okay, good. He's zerked. We'll just finish him off with 1 acid, 2 acid. There we go. Speaking of MR threats, you know. Ring of Flight, certainly don't need that. Drop it immediately. Let's, how about we go up to D14? This staircase is not next to the... ambush area. How did Elliptic Streak end? Funny story, and I believe doesn't he probably knows the actual story behind it as to the circumstances, but he died on a Spriggan Enchanter, which is a very iconic combo to lose on. And if I recall correctly, there was some, I don't remember the exact story, but, and I know somebody told it to me once, I'm pretty sure it was, doesn't he? No, it wasn't you? Well, I think he got bad lucked somehow. An Orc Wizard death? That's a shame. I mean, I almost died on my Spriggan just by like underestimating how much damage Natasha can do on D2. I've been told it's something else. I mean, there's so many stupid things that can kill you as a Spriggan. It's honestly pretty lame, just by virtue of having low hit points, you know. Does this Fallen actually have Fawn spells? Yeah, he does. I transformed a Necromancer into him. I mean, I wonder if it's even possible to look up the TV of that. I think those games are broken somehow. Ugh, I just got minus int. Doesn't really matter. Okay, okay. Didn't want to fight quite all those things at the same time, particularly the Flayed Ghost. There he is. I will Zerk his ass down now. Hopefully no more things are coming. Big loot, maybe. Oh god. Oh no. I am not wearing armor because I just tried to change in the middle of this room like a big dummy. So we'll acid him to death, and then we'll Ice Blast to finish him off. Just wanted to try this plate mail on. It's fire resistance. I'd rather have the +5 chain, at least for the purposes of doing slime, or spider, rather. Okay, let's do 14. Let's finish out dungeon. Still no broadaxe. We did find a buckler, but without something really to wear other than a generic, I mean, what do we have, war axes? It's kind of bad. It's not even a full shield, so it's not that tempting. I think I'd stick with my, I think sticking with my battle axe is the move. Although I really hate doing spider without a shield on account of tarantellas. Just the idea of getting perma confused is so obnoxious, and shields are one of the few things that can kind of stop that from happening. Kirky. Wish I had a lamp or a file, but mostly a lamp. I'm going to try to Zerk. I know she could pig me, but I'm more likely to murder her before that happens than I do. If she had pigged me, I would have just walked off, basically. Porculated, the technical name for the condition. Alright. Wow, okay. Now we're cooking with gas. We got a large shield. Dude, I'm dropping all of these ranged options. I just don't need them. I guess I'll keep the CureRA, but Impigand, I like that. What was Doxine posting in my Discord the other day about how, like, in Old English they used to call piglets all kinds of wacky things like hoglings, but not hoglets. And gruntlings. Which honestly, the word gruntling just sounds like a really ugly child. Like, man, that baby sure is a gruntling. Hope he grows out of it. I guess that's not very nice. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, what do you... This sounds like an unpleasant word. But apparently it was the old-timey word for pigs, little baby pigs. Going into Spider. Should be able to just casually tap through this whole damn place. Please don't paralyze me. Okay, good. Although, I mean, there are wacky things that can happen in here. If I were to get perma-confused by a Tarantella next to like a berserked redback, which can happen, you know, and has happened to me. It's a very bad time. Very bad time will be had by all. Three orb spiders. Hate these guys. Burning all my para just so I don't have to deal with chasing their asses down. There's a hat here. Just a generic +2 hat. Another fancy pimp hat. Alright, time to find out who's the better Makhleb servant. Is it me, or is it Asterion? I'll give you a hint, it's me. Summon a greater demon. Heal myself a bit. Zerk. Oh, I don't have Arlek. Okay, that could have gone badly. I forgot I didn't have Arlek. It wasn't particularly likely to go badly with a greater demon next to me, but I shouldn't have done that. Moth of Wrath on Spider 1. Red poison through our poise and 24 AC. Gosh. I just watched Deadpool. How was that, STG? How many movies in the Deadpool franchise are there now? Ring of Poison Resistance, we don't need that. Let's just zerk this stuff down. Get corroded a billion times on the way. Can you name a single person who would bite into an ice cream cone? I guess not. I mean, I do it after the after the the big part of the ice cream's gone, but I guess everybody does that. The top or whatever is gone. Zerk this stuff. Probably shouldn't. Crap. Well, I gotta drink curing so I'm not confused anymore. I got to descent this. It doesn't want to die. Let's just swing him down. Can we survive 2 of these? Not necessarily. Well, no. I won't take full damage if I get the one, get hit right next to it. Let's drink a heal wound so we can't die to that one. And again, Paralyze just doesn't want to work for me, so we'll do that instead. Ran out of Paralyze. I assume this happens in the movie somewhere, STG. Let's go ahead and train shields. Just start training it to 25. We'll find a broad axe sooner or later. Hey, it's Envy's lucky day. We found an artifact scythe. Just for him, I'll try it on. It's cursed. It's the +1 scythe of KoCj, and it's very bad. Alright, that's Nicola. We have no Arlec except for the Staff of Air. However, I can save myself. I can save my only resistance potion by just wearing that. It's got a Cloak of Magic Resistance on, so we can't polymorph him. I'm going to make 3 bros. The Mumo equivalent of Bardages. Pretty much. Make another guy. I'll flame this Tarantella to death. Gosh. Nicola's wrecking the crap out of me. I want more guys. I'm okay if my piety gets wrecked. I just don't want to get chain lightning to death, really. Done. We sadly don't get anything out of that cloak since we've already got a +2 cloak of magic resistance ourselves here. I do, however, get a pair of gloves. He has 26 skill and pole arms to use that scythe. I guess he does, since he doesn't seem to attack that slowly. So he must have the 26 skill. Whoa! Whoa, boy, baby boy, we have we have +0 crystal plate armor now. That is a fine use for our enchant armors, which we don't have any of, but if we did, it would be a fine use for it. I don't know why I thought I had 5 of those. I actually have 5 enchant weapons. Do I want to wear that over the chainmail? let's see, 26 AC, 20 EV. I mean, it wrecks our EV. We lose 8 EV and we only gain 3 AC, but we gain like a ton of GDRs, so, and in the long term, it's amazing. And yet no one remembers Edmund. Nobody remembers Edmund because Edmund sucks. Except when Edmund spawns with like a berserk potion or something, and then at that point you better be, you better watch out. Chain's gonna be better, unfortunately. But someday soon, that crystal plate, we're gonna use that probably. It's a rare game where I get to wear a crystal plate, so I'd like to do it if I can. Although honestly, on this character, it's starting to look like gold dragon armor would be much better. Maybe you should be immune to confuse while you're berserked. Something that just occurred to me, like, shouldn't you be too angry to be bamboozled by sorcery? If playing Null Wizard doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah, Null Wizard is essentially a free game if you play perfectly. Very hard to lose on a Null Wizard, or any Null, really. Nulls start with an awful lot of hit points and skill in a lot of things. Should be able to tab through this stuff. Shockingly, I was just more or less able to tab through this guy because he chose to not really hit me at all. It's Ice Blast to finish him off. Should not have tabbed into a Spark Wasp with no Aralek. Dynas told me two things. He has never seen a D1 Gozag altar. It's pretty rare. It does happen, but it's pretty damn rare. Playing Null Wizard of Gozag is not a very enjoyable experience. Ooh, why does he say that? Does he think it's too easy, or? That kind of would shock me if he was saying that for any reason other than it's too easy, because that's like, it's funny because for me that's like a super fun experience. I really, really enjoy that. He doesn't like managing spell hunger. Understandable. But I mean, you just use you just use lower level spells basically, or you look for a. I mean, best case scenario, you find Gourmand, or you find Staff of Energy. Which, I mean, I know it's easy to say, oh, well, you just find this item, but on Gozag you can actually make that into a reality. I mean, you could also, yeah, you could take yourself down to starving and then eat. That's an option. I don't ever use that trick, but it's, you know, that's legitimate. Oh my god. Look at this billion years fight with the Hornet. By the way, you might think it's silly that I'm training shields. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to train evocations this far. Well, I'll take it to 15, why not? I can basically train evocations the entire game, to be honest. I mean, I might even not set a skill target. But yeah, you may find it odd that I'm doing that, but I mean, we will, I assure you, we will find a Broad Axe sometime. The game can't just like not give me one. I will wander the abyss for it if I have to. When is it ever a bad idea to train shields? Fair point. Uh-oh, we're very corroded. I think we kill this stuff anyway. Minus 20 corrode champion over here. Polymorphing the things that are giving me a bit of a headache. Until you reach negative 128. Well, see, my goal is to get so corroded that I cause a buffer underflow and have infinite AC slaying and whatever else it takes away. Honestly, I bet it's possible with how badly this game is programmed. Let's make a friend. A basilisk. Wow. Okay. Well, he's got no chance to petrify me, so that's fine. This is a few too many things. I wish I had our fire, because then I'd emulate this stuff. Kirby's calling the police. I guess he is. Somebody is. Teleport. This is more things that I'd like to be fighting at once, that's all. In fact, this whole vault is just kind of not a whole lot of fun. It's hard to pull things out of it. Wow, that's a golden eye. Ice blast that. One of the reasons you don't want to use polymorph, I suppose. Ah, yes, eyes, my favorite enemy. Yeah, I mean, they can really ruin your day. It is kind of lame that they're on the table of things that can get polymorphed because, or that things can be polymorphed too. You know, I lost a CSDC run once because I polymorphed something into a golden eye. It's a real pain. You might say that it was very confusing. Okay, I shouldn't have taken that, probably, only on account of the fact that we could have gotten paralyzed, but, I mean, whatever. Oh, it's Mara. Okay. Whew, that is Mara. Not really expected to be here, although certainly he can show up. Teleport again. We have no RF, so... Oh god. That's kind of ugly. So probably the smart thing to do is to just leave. But I'm a deep dwarf, so I feel unstoppable. 36 plus vorpal weapon. Let's take this vault real fast. So I have this file. Had a level 12 null. The game exited and didn't save. Put me right next to Erica, who I had already killed, and she killed me. That's literally unfair. Are you playing online, or are you playing offline? Because that type of thing generally won't happen if you're playing online. But yeah, that sounds pretty stupid. Hey, brand weapon, that's great. So all we need to do is find a broadaxe. It could even be mundane, and we will, for sure, if we find the broadaxe, have at least a +5 branded broadaxe. Local because internet went bronk for some reason. That's no good. Alright, we have 2 resistance. Like, we can take on Mara. I do wish we had a some para wands, which we've used up, and a vulnerability. We have no such luck, though. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. We're going to enslave you. Does Mara have RLEC? No, he does not. So we're just going to use the old Spark Wasp special. I need to keep him enslaved. Order him to attack Mara. This is probably not going to work, but it might. How much can Mara do with that bolt of fire? 60? Holy Christ, it's actually 67, 74, 81 damage. That's more than I thought. Yeah, no, STG, that sounds real dumb. That sounds bug-tacular. I didn't think I was in range of those. We gotta use resistance. We should haste. We should agility. We should might. Hopefully this is the real Mara. And it was. Thank goodness for luck, right? Let's make good use of this might. Did I get hit by that orb? That's surprising. Use flame to kill the hornet. Not a big fan of risking getting paralyzed today. I think I'll bypass that. Kill this guy with Wand of Flame. Believe it or not, you can do it. Enough applications. Boom, we got a ton of ambrosia, which is one of the few good things about this vault. Guaranteed piles of ambrosia back here. And we got the Gossamer rune. But no broadaxes, which, well, not particularly likely to find a broadaxe in Spider. I suppose I'll stop playing this game when I find a broadaxe. You know, it's going to end the stream by now, but I want the character set up for the rest of the game. Which, like, he is, but he's also not. So I'm running into Elf real fast. Without resistances because I'm crazy. I mean, we should be okay. Just go into the Hall of Blades. There's got to be a broadaxe in there, right? It's not guaranteed, but come on. Although there's an ice cave here. So we'll put on Ring of Ice once we get in. Electric exec axe incoming. Ah. Sure hope not. I think there's going to be an Ice Fiend in here on account of the fact that, well, it might be two Blizzard Demons. Battle Axe of Freezing. It's, I don't even want that more than chopping. Do not use two-handed with DD. Well, it's just dumb. The only thing you should use two-handed on, really, is like a centaur for a bow, or anything else with a bow, or Formicid. Also, we just got immediately tormented. Yeah, FoSk and Makhleb would work just fine. That's actually a really good combo, if you can get to that point. Heal up, we'll make a Greater Servant. This is actually a really good one. We'll tell him to run for the time being. I'm going to heal one more time, order him to attack. I'm going to swing him to death. Heal myself. Oh shit, there's two. Well, that's okay. My Balrog is just shooting flames at this dude. Why don't we acid him? Self-heal, swing. Balrog just whips these dudes to death. Go Balrog. Champion. Amulet of the Acrobat. I can always pop Rage on if I need to telly, or if I need to win a fight that I can't win. Just hit Gauntlet on FoSk. Why? +2 freezing. Keep the chop. Power creep is kind of AC. Oh, you have 30 AC. Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, once you get strong on a character, it really doesn't matter. I just assumed you found Gauntlet very, very early, like I always do. FoSk is Formicid Scald, a combo I am not real excited to have to play. Trying to kill some things to get my hit points back here. Kind of slow going though. Getting fire on top of me is not good, considering I have no RF plus. Geez. We'll do this. Shouldn't even be in here, not with my resist as they are. Yes, even as a deep dwarf. I'll drop the crystal plate for now, come back for it. Chainmail with Ent on it, of course we don't care. Lance of Force, alright. Do you have Lightning Bolt? Is that what you're hitting me with? Yeah, it is. I will put your buddy in between me and you. Get rewarded with a lamp for our trouble. Oh, it's this vault. It's this 4 Oklab vault. That's hilarious. So I guess that can spawn here as well. This is the one I got in Lair the other day. Weird Lair vault. Malcolm's favorite vault. The game just really doesn't want me to have a broad axe is what it's telling me. Because I'm not going to take the hatch. And I can't really, I mean, I guess I could kill this. Just random effects this thing and hope it dies. It's paralyzed, so... Hey, there we go. But the problem is there's 3 more. So let's see, they do 41 damage a pop. What's our water branch? It's shoals, which is one of the reasons I really want to be in a shield. I hadn't said that, but that's like, you know, I'm almost more inclined to wear the large shield and just a generic war axe than this freaking battle axe and shoals, even as a deep dwarf, just because it's annoying. I mean, certainly I can do it, it's just obnoxious. Time for vaults? Yeah, maybe. I usually consider that as more of a comedy option, but it may very well be the right thing to do. Although vaults can have the whole Yaktar, you know, Yaktar extravaganza, which is never good without a shield. Although I guess in vaults I'm equally likely to find a broadaxe. But lacking Omni resistance blows as much in here as it blows in Elf. The Vaultman. They do. And orcs spawn here. Fair point. Okay, we cannot be paralyzed by this dude, so let's just melee him. Here's a Vaultman, sadly with a Bardich and not a broadaxe. Just gotta play cautiously. Yeah, but I don't... It doesn't feel right to play cautiously on a deep dwarf. I agree I should. But, this goes against all my instincts not to just hold tab. But yeah, you're right. Don't LCS me. Okay. Let's pull these dudes in here. Wanted to make sure they were all at the door. Of course, this Death Knight has a big sword. Not a big fan of fighting these guys, so let's preemptively lamp. Probably a resource I didn't need to use, but there's a ghoul in here, so I'm okay with it. If I had MR from another source, I would wear a Scarf of Resistance, but I mean, there is a scarf. There's a scarf available in that one vault, but it's not even worth checking out until we have more MR from something else. MR is just more valuable than, hello, broad axe. So we brand it. So 2 bits for a cheer. I mean, I haven't changed that yet. Maybe I should just lie to you. It actually costs 1,000 bits to cheer and get the text. No. All right, so we got the broadaxe of Flame, so I'll just drop this glaive. Not that I really need it for Hydras anyway. Flame is not the brand I would have asked for in terms of like my favorite, but it's certainly not one of the bad ones. Like the bad ones are Venom, Protection. I guess that's pretty much it. Flame would be the worst after that. And then above that, you've got like, well, you could make the argument that Vampiric is bad way later in the game, but right now it would be awesome. But then like, basically, Freezing does the most damage to the most things. Chopping is what I like the best because it does extra damage to literally everything, even things that are immune or resistant to ice. You know, so like chopping is what's going to do the most damage to an orb of fire, I think. Electricity is okay, but there are reasons why it's not as good as either flaming or ice, just because of the damage formula.
tab 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 tab
Oh my
tab
God.
tab 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 tab
She doesn't
tab
stop.
tab
She doesn't
tab
pause like with marbles.
tab
Oh wait,
tab
there it
tab
is.
tab 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 tab
She
tab
said it a
tab
different
tab
way one of
tab
those
tab
times.
tab 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 tab
Wow,
tab
it's
tab
not
tab
over.
tab 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 tab
She's
tab
catching her
tab
breath, but she's a robot.
tab 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 is what you should do.
Why am I allowing this to go on? I guess it could be worse. Okay, we are marked. Is this the LCS guy? Yeah, it is. So we'll heal up. I should be able to fight this floor. Oh, what am I doing? I didn't put on my shield. Derp? I'm like, why am I taking so much damage? This is bullshit. Okay, bad telly. Bad okay telly, but there's a freaking dragon here, so let's put on Ring of Ice. True genius mode here, not putting my shield on. Let's teleport one last time. And put my shield on. It's the whole point, really, of having a broad axe. Ration shop, I blew way too many teleports, but there's one for sale. We'll go get it, actually. In fact, we're going to go on a shopping spree, and then we're going to end the stream, so let's do that. Teleport, fear. How much magic mapping do I have? 2. I'll save that one. Here's a wand that I am not even going to bother to buy. We'll get resistance, agility, those are both good. We'll get invis, that's awesome. Cancellation, mutation, okay. Agility, great. Blow through all of our gold, getting tons of potions. I kind of wish I had bought might, but whatever. We've got one left. Probably won't need it. Let's drop, should I drop, Torment, perhaps? Keep it for the time being. Thanks for the follow, Pepe Mods. Alright. So that's gonna be it. We've gotten pretty far. We got a rune. We cleared out a little bit of elf just because I got impatient and wanted a broad axe. Although, as TeCj said, it's honestly better to just go into vaults for that in the general case.
No tab 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 tab, just kidding, I wouldn't do you in like that.
Thank you, SGG, for not doing me in like that. Anyway, next time we will just be able to blow through the shoals, especially the fact that we're using this big-ass shield. Good weapon, good armor, good game, pretty much. And if we just get a little bit of luck in terms of finding an average number of enchant armors, or if we get more luck and get a ton of enchant armors, we'll be able to do some hilarious things this game. Because we'll find a use for every single enchant armor, which is not something that usually happens. You know, we could stick 8 of them on the large shield, and then there's that crystal plate lying around, and while I would prefer golden dragon armor, I could enchant this thing up another 14 AC, so I'm never going to run out of things to do probably with enchant armor, so that's kind of cool. Although, yeah, it's looking like, you know, I lack RF+, I lack RC+. If I were to find gold dragon armor, that'd be ideal. Nevertheless, I mean, if I really wanted to go sort of old school traditional move, I would just use the plate armor of RF, which is perfectly good to win the game with. Hey, Powell Zarimba? No, I'm playing 0.23. I don't really like Trunk because Ebering has added a bunch of really goofy stuff to it. In particular, early game monsters, they have yet another way to just kind of screw you with RNG. Like Scattershot just sort of instantly kills you. Clouds can just sort of instantly kill you. Ice Blast, you know, and now any monster can use them. So, like, if Acid Wands were not bad enough, you know, now you have even more ways for nonsense to happen. So, trying to avoid that. Plus, I don't really play in Trunk on streaks anyway because they test things in there. There could be bugs. I don't want to lose to a bug while trying to streak. A jib isn't powerful enough. Let's give it Ice Blast. Yeah, not a lot of thought went into that decision, but I mean that's not really something that surprises me about the DCSS devs at this point. Yeah, no problem, Powell. I will take any questions you have. Be happy to answer them. Anyway, I just kind of went into this branch, but I am done for the night. We'll do shoals next time. We'll clear it out. We'll probably do. Well, we have ice available. You know, we have the. Didn't you just follow me? Did I just get like a double notification? Oh wait, no, that was the other guy. Thank you for the follow. That was PB Mods. But yeah, I mean, we have Ring of Ice. If we had our core, we could turn slime into a thing we could do pretty easily. Even without it, we could probably be okay at it. Yeah, Dinky, I just keep talking, and while I'm talking, I kind of revert to going on autopilot and playing. Let's see, if I were to look at a GoldenEye, yeah, 2% confusion days. So probably once we level up a little more, if we were to clear out shoals, we could maybe do an early, slime on this character, but more likely we'll do shoals and do vaults 1 through 4, and then kind of reevaluate what we've got from there. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. Chances are good that the next session of this is the one where we'll just win this this game, because it's a deep dwarf and I can play it pretty quickly and safely at the same time. But you can reasonably expect the game after that to take a really long time because it's the FoSk. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks everybody for coming by the stream. Always appreciate it. Thanks to the bits STG. And nope, I'm leaving, man. Until next time, I am signing out. Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.